Hi everyone, I'm Elena and I'm so excited to introduce you to one of our talented engineers here at Sigma Connectivity. Welcome Karim and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So before we dive into more technical questions about product development, could you share a little bit about your background and why you pursued a career within engineering?
So my background is in mechatronics engineering. It's also in project management and line management. Here at Sigma, I'm mainly focused on electronics development. And the thing that put me into the engineering field was that as a kid, I was always very curious as to how things are working, why they're working, and how to make them better. So going into engineering was kind of a no-brainer.
Okay, interesting. And I have understood that you have had many roles throughout your career. And what did you feel was the most enjoyable working with product development and engineering?
So the most enjoyable role for me is always the technical leadership role. I believe that is where we are able to, or I am able to kind of display my talents with regards to the technical know-how, the kind of team leadership, the diplomatic part of things with communicating with upper management and project management and product management and so on, and those different roles.
Okay, and on a daily basis right now, you're working on electronics. And from your point of view, what do you feel is the biggest challenge?
So I think that, especially me working in team leadership roles, I think some of the biggest challenges, not so much the technical things, those are things that we are able to handle and take care of. It's always been the communication part of things, being able to convey the challenges that you have to deal with, especially when it comes to making time plans and putting together a cohesive team.
Okay, so I can imagine the knowledge from managers and the people around you is as important as your one, so you can be like a strong team.
Exactly, and that's kind of what understanding each other's challenges is also a big thing. We need to know, okay, when do we come in and help here? When do we need to back off there? Sometimes maybe there's an issue that didn't come up previously, and then you realize, okay, it's easy, even though this is an electronics issue, for example, it's easier that software does it than electronics spend 2 weeks to make a fix and so on. So these kind of teams and cooperations are always very important.
When designing these super small devices that are packed with technology, what is the biggest compromise or challenge that you face with that?
So compromise is always the biggest challenge there, because there's this balance that has to be struck between functionality, battery life, usability, and every single one of these battery-driven products or technology products has its order of importance. And that balance is always subjective in some kind of way, but in the end, it's manageable, I believe.
Okay. Do you feel that it depends from company to company and the usability of the product in the end, or how do you compromise?
Often it is from client to client, of course. So one client maybe says, okay, this is 100% our top priority, battery life. Another one says it's sustainability, it's usability, and so on. So it does definitely differ.
Okay, I can imagine that. And when we look into the industry as a whole, current trends and also where we are heading, could you share some insights on new technologies that you're experiencing, but also what do you believe will be the next big thing for products?
So I believe right now the most important thing, at least for us on the engineering side of things, is the strides being made into measurement equipment. So there's a lot of new suite of measurement equipment and test equipment that is being provided, and that helps us test better, make sure that everything is more usable, more functional, and then that we have a shorter time to market, of course, which makes everybody happy.
So diving deeper into the field of measurement, where are the biggest improvements you see valuable?
So the biggest value I see right now in the field of measurement is, of course, the whole host of test suites that are available, test automation that allows us to be able to be more precise in our measurements, be able to be certain in our design, and that allows us for a faster time to market.
Yeah, and a faster time to market is a win-win for everybody. Before we end today's interview, I would like to hear your thoughts for aspiring engineers out there. What would be your most valuable tip for having a successful career in this field?
So a successful career is definitely built on making mistakes, owning those mistakes, and then growing from them. Every single senior that you see out there has made many mistakes behind them, and those mistakes, they put them into their tool belt, and then they learn from them, and then, of course, you can't in an ideal world, you wouldn't make the same mistake again, but that's just how engineering works. That's how the field of technology works. So don't be afraid of those. Use those to your benefit.
Such a great tip. Thank you so much for sharing. And lastly, if you could work on any project in the world without any limitations, what would it be and why?
That's a tough question, but in the heart of it, it would always have to be something that improves the lives of others around me.
That's a very beautiful ending. Thank you so much, Karim, for being here today and sharing your experiences and insights.
Thanks again for having me.
And for everyone watching, I hope you have found this interview as insightful as I have. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below or contact me directly on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for watching Tech Tuesday, and see you in 2 weeks.